Well, tonight we're looking at the first half of James chapter 4. And again, I hope you've wrestled with this passage because there's a lot of great stuff here. A couple things I hope you observed was this idea of kill and covet, these 10 commandment words. And you might think, oh gosh, I don't kill. But it's interesting the combination of those words, because one is this deadly, severe word, where it says do not kill, and you're like, I don't kill. But he links together coveting, which seems, I think, in our minds oftentimes benign, just to want things. It's something that happens in your mind. But he actually says it's that wanting of things that causes so many quarrels among you. That much as your fighting and your quarrels and your arguments have to do with this idea of coveting, things you wanting and desire that you really shouldn't desire. And it says it's not just that it's an issue that it causes quarrels among you, but what's really happening is it's causing a quarrel with God. That you're actually showing a friendship with the world, wanting these things here rather than wanting the things of God. And that's worth reflecting on. How are these things in opposition? Because it even uses another 10 commandment, another commandment word. It says when you love the things of this world, essentially you're committing adultery with God. And that's adultery. That's the language used throughout the Old Testament. That's what Israel's accused of perpetually really serving other things. You might think, well, how do I love it? Well, what drives you in life? What masters you? What is your motivation? That is what you worship, and that's what you're serving. And therefore, you're actually serving something besides God, which again, now you're at the first commandment, aren't you? To put other gods before Him. And it's worth us in a discussion really trying to get our mind around how loving the world is not loving God, and why our desires for that thing actually is what's causing us quarrels with one another. Now, you might think kind of helpless about that, but don't be helpless, because there's actually an incredible amount of hope in this passage, isn't there? They're saying what happens is God, when you become a child of God, the Spirit of God dwells in you, and it says that Spirit inside of you actually envies. He's jealous for God, which means you should feel a conviction inside of you when you're loving the things other than God, that it's going to be poking you. And then really this last bit of this passage is all about this incredible call to repentance and how God actually will receive you. He says, then submit yourselves to God. Turn to Him. Resist the devil. Come near to Him. He'll come near to you. Humble yourselves and He will exalt you. So it's actually an incredible way. If you feel that, oh, I've loved the world too much, I've gotten into quarrels and fights because of my desires, great to see that. Turn and God will gladly receive you. In fact, the Spirit inside of you, if you're feeling conviction right now, it's like a child who's turning to his parent. So I hope you have a great discussion with it. Encouraging passage.